What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Trapper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Lights, and Locks MLB. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Shout out to producer Jacob. Fangraphs was not updating. We were 20 minutes late. It's okay. He was able to watch 15 minutes of his Celtics absolutely sucking once again in the first quarter of a Game 4. Hopefully there's a sweep. I have that 4-0 series bet that's out there. Games played only 4, even though it was for the Celtics side of it. Such is life. Sometimes you backdoor yourself into the best draw in the history of sports. That'd be a nice $770. Either way, it's neither here nor there. We're here to talk a little MLB. Beginning of the slate has been very, very rough. We had Kadai Senga get moved to Wednesday, so we're going to talk about him again. We have our pets' heads are falling off. Paul Goldschmidt hit 2 home runs. What in the frickin' world? Thanks, buddy. Could have used one of those the other day, but you know what? That is life. That is the day that Tuesday was. But we're looking forward to Wednesday. We have baseball going from beginning to end all throughout the day. Going to be an awesome day of baseball. That's at least what I'm hoping here. You can sign up for BetMGM and then also jump in that premium Discord. Come hang out with us. Bet with us all day long. It's going to be awesome. MLB, NBA. Yeah, throwing my PGA bets in as well for the Charles Schwab. That's going to be good stuff. Yeah. Scotty Scheffler, don't completely destroy everybody one-time dealer, but check that out in the video description box below. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but we have 15 games. You don't want to hear me just talk. I'm overexposed with my light. I should work on that. But either way, we're going to get ourselves to the picks. Producer Jacob, let's do it. Today begins with a pretty interesting spot here. Martin Perez, a lefty. The fly ball rate is way up, 15.4 degree average launch angle, 286 expected batting average, just a 17.5% K rate. Back with my Minnesota Twins, back at the beginning of his Texas Rangers career, things were pretty good. It's been a little lackluster here. He still prevents hard hits. He still is decent with the walk rate, but in terms of XFIP, everything else, things are starting to shift outside of where I would want to be going crazy backing Martin Perez, but yet we're going to do it because this Texas Rangers lineup is just no joke. And Johan Oviedo, he's been good with the 376 expected slugging. We've really enjoyed backing him at times because the Pittsburgh offense is better than you might expect, but they're facing a lefty. That hasn't been as good except for Andrew McCutchen, who just continues to smash their faces in every single time out. Doesn't matter to me, though, in this spot. I think Johan Oviedo is going to be still giving up a little bit of power. They're going to have Corey Seager back in this lineup with his 56.3% hard hit percentage, facing a righty. That, my friends, is decent. And yes, you have Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, Jack Sawinski, a lot of hitters that I've enjoyed backing from that Pittsburgh Pirates side. Even Connor Joe, who I thought about putting on the home run board here based on his prospective odds, but I'm going to wait until those come out tomorrow. As it stands right now, though, I have a really interesting beginning of the card here because there are, 5 games that we have going before 5:40 p.m. Eastern time? And I have a play on 3 of them in a row here on the money line. Yeah, you heard me. 3 in a row on the money line and a home run play showing up. So for the first 5 games we have on the board, I am interested in big time. That almost never happens, but it's happening here with the Texas money line. Really think that this is a solid play to get our day going. Minus 120 if you're at Bet 365. Minus 125, next best available line over at BetMGM. Hey, they're the sponsor of our program. Check them out and check out the Texas money line. Getting our day going with a like. Ready for our next money line? Here we go, friends. It's Zach Gallen against Ranger Suarez. We could leave it at that, and you probably know where I'm going, but let's elaborate a little bit. Zach Gallen, he's been up there in terms of NL Cy Young contenders, a 29.9% K rate, a 5% walk rate, a 290 xWOBA, yay, across the board there. The hard hit is at 45.5%, and he has a couple of tough lefties in Kyle Schwarber, in Bryce Harper, and even Brandon Marsh, but Brandon Marsh got scratched on Monday. I'm going to be paying attention to his status, and it actually matters because Brandon Marsh, 48.2% hard hit percentage, 92.4 mile per hour exit velocity average off the bat, and a 15.4% walk rate is as high up there as it gets. Him and Kyle Schwarber, 15.4 and 16.1. Those are 2 of the best marks you're going to see in all of baseball. If something gets north of 15%, just know that's top 5 percentile. It is ridiculous stuff. And, well, one of them can run. Brandon Marsh can run a little bit, even though he won't. He's got a 28.7 average mile per hour sprint speed. That's not correct. There's no way that's correct. It's simply meters. Hey, there we go. That's a little bit different. Metric system. We're not going to have that conversation today. We're going to have a conversation about the other side of this one with Ranger Suarez, who's a lefty who's generally suppressed power. He's done that again. 31.8% hard hit percentage. 31.1% was his low number in the bigs. That was in 2021. But even last year, 34.9% with a 3.78 expected ERA. Those are good things. I'm a little worried about him, though. 4.86 expected ERA with a 10.50 ERA so far. It's a very limited sample size. He just got back into the fray, friends. Only 2 starts so far this season, 72 and 66 pitches, but I went through this Phillies bullpen. There is nothing that is going to stop me from betting the Arizona money line. Thought about locking this. This is actually my favorite money line play that we have here. And part of that is just the revamped Arizona lineup. And yes, Corbin Carroll is neutralized a little bit left on left, that's for sure. But they're still at a 99 WRC plus, 100 being the baseline average for the bigs, only a 145 ISO. But I think because of that Philly bullpen not being very good, I really like this spot for Arizona at this price. They're just even money, minus 110 right there. I mean, not even money, sorry. Standard juice, minus 110 over at Caesars. That's the play that I have from this one. Check out this money line. It is so big. Actually, it's not really that big. It's just a normal run-of-the-mill money line. But it's Michael Kopech coming off of a really nice outing going up against Cal Quantrill, and I hate Cal Quantrill, and this Cleveland Guardians lineup, no doubt about it. 13% K rate, 357 xWOBA. What is it that you would say you do here? Office Space, anyone? My movie quotes, my rap quotes, some people like some, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But either way, Cal Quantrill, never really all that good. And Michael Kopech, 377 xWOBA, 46.6% hard hit percentage. Really bad stuff that we've seen out of him. But he gets a fantastic, and I do mean fantastic matchup, going up against this Cleveland Guardians lineup. And he's coming off of a game with 10 strikeouts. Yes, his best outing by far, 8 innings pitched, 10 Ks, and the velocity got back to where it was supposed to be. He's a 27-year-old pitcher. He was amazing out of the bullpen 2 years ago. Hasn't really found his footing as a starter, but I've always believed in this stuff, and I've always believed in the fastball specifically. That is one of the better pitches that I've seen in the AL. Just get it in the zone, bro. 13% walk rate, that's got to come down, down, down if he wants to get to an elite level. But as it stands right now, I hate this Cleveland lineup against righties. 78 WRC plus, 113 ISO. Those are both second worst in baseball. There you go. Chicago White Sox money line makes it 3 in a row. I know you parlay people are going to do it, so just go ahead. Texas money line, Arizona money line, White Sox money line. Let's get the day going. Ben Folds would be proud of this one too. The battle of who could care less. Brandon Bielak. Brandon Bielak. Brian by a lake. Brian by a lake. He might be from Minnesota. Hey, going up against Adrian Hauser here. And both of these guys, they're not very good. 47.4% hard hit percentage for Brian Bielak. 51% for Adrian Hauser. 520 expected slugging. 370 for Adrian Hauser is actually pretty decent. They're both very, very bad pitchers. But when I look at the profile of Kyle Tucker in this matchup, 537 expected slugging. He always gets inflated odds compared to his counterpart, Yordan Alvarez. And that always leans me towards the Kyle Tucker side of this one. Haven't been betting him a lot. This is probably the most juiced up his home run props have been all, like, throughout his MLB tenure. I remember last season, he was on our card constantly, and he would come through at plus 450, plus 500. We haven't routinely been getting those numbers, but in Milwaukee, if that roof is closed, in the afternoon here, hanging out there in Milwaukee, I really like this spot for Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez to go long, but one's going to have more inflated odds than the other, so Kyle Tucker is the guy that I want to be relying on. Also kind of a backdoor steal potential here for everybody involved. Pay attention, he's got 7 of those on the season, so I'm going to be paying attention to both plays. Want to see where these numbers land, but Kyle Tucker to hit a home run would be my favorite play if I knew it was better than plus 380 tomorrow. My Minnesota Twins taking on the San Francisco Giants yet again here in this spot. They're up a little bit early here. Fingers crossed, didn't bet it, just a fan. Joe Ryan, been a fan of what he's done this season. Anthony Desclafani here for the San Francisco Giants. Kind of been a fan of what he's done as well. A 3.09 ERA, 0.99 whip. Really good stuff out of him. And hey, I just saw Toronto scored 20 runs tonight against my lock. That's good. Choking, because that's what I did when I made that pick. I'm sure I'm not going to hear from any of you in the comment section today. You know what? It counts the same as a 2-1 loss. Right? Cool? No? Anthony Desclafani, he's been very, very good this season. Same thing with Joe Ryan on the other side. I've never been a huge fan of his. Well, I'm a huge fan of his now at this point with a 239 xWOBA, 30.4% K rate. Can that continue? Because if it does, he's always been able to locate. Never had a walk rate in AAA or in the bigs that's been problematic. But a 2.30 expected ERA. That's as good as you're going to find in baseball. That's top third percentile amongst all pitchers. Four-seamer, I love the split finger that he adds to it with a 24.5% whip percentage, 18.9% put away percentage. But my God, the primary pitch, almost 60% of the time throwing the four-seamer, and it is getting hitters tricked up, even though it's like 93, 94 miles per hour every single time. So I don't really know what to make of it. I know San Francisco is a team that I'd like to utilize against righties mostly. They do have a 108 WRC plus, but I look at this game and I just kind of see under all over it. However, it doesn't project out that well on my spreadsheet when I project it. When I'm looking at Odd Shopper, nothing jumps out in this one. So I'm going to lean the under of 7.5, but no, I really, really want to take that shot because both of these pitchers against these specific lineups grade out very, very nicely. Off to the St. Louis Paul Goldschmidts. They are facing the Cincinnati Reds again. And thanks, buddy. Couldn't have given me one of those two homers yesterday. That would have been cool. Cool. And against righties, what are we doing here? It's so frustrating. And Nolan Arenado gets ejected today, even though I didn't bet him. But it evens out. Let's go to the home run market, shall we? We're in Great American Small Park, the #1 ballpark in baseball for home runs. And home runs are what we shall target, friends. And that is going to be on the Cincinnati side this time, mainly because the Cincinnati Reds, they're throwing out a decent enough pitcher. Well, he's not all that good for the most part. It just depends on how you quantify Mr. Lively here. I think it's going to be a bit of a stretch to say that he's going to continue this 186 expected batting average, 324 expected slugging, 24.4% K rate. If he did that, he'd be one of the best pitchers in baseball. He'd be the next Luis Castillo for this team, a righty who throws a low 90s fastball. Well, Castillo has a little bit more velocity than this, but what I'm getting at is that he is a 31-year-old pitcher who hasn't pitched in the bigs for 4 years, and now is finding success kind of mixing up his selection. He's gone to throwing a four-seamer 52% of the time. That is way up from 43% he was at in 2017. So that's become the usage, as well as the curveball from around 20% in 2017 to around 44.4%. Finding swings and misses with a slider as well. 52.6% whiff percentage there. That's pretty wild stuff. That is unsustainable kind of stuff that we're looking at here. And what I'm getting at is that I do not think Ben Lively is as hot as Blake Lively. I want you all to know that. Blake Lively's untouchable. There's a reason Ryan Reynolds is winning at life. And you and me, we are not. Is what it is. We got to accept it. But we can use Tyler Stevenson against Mr. Steven Matz. The battle of the Stevensons and the Stevens. I don't know. That was a little of a Bikram yoga stretch, if you ask me. But I definitely like the profile of Tyler Stevenson here in this spot. He is one of the best hitting catchers in baseball. Hits for power. Him and Jonathan India, really the only righties. I'll put Spencer Steer in there maybe as well. Nick Senzel's way down other than in the expected batting average department. But I look at Stevenson with a 40% hard hit percentage and a 359 expected slugging, which is actually not all that good. But I think that Tyler Stevenson has the profile of somebody that would go yard on Mr. Steven Matz with a 436 expected slugging and just an 8.7 degree average launch angle. Yes, Stevenson, he going to be driving the ball with that 10.1 degree average launch angle. Think this is kind of the matchmaking, make me a match. I think this is a good spot. Tyler Stevenson to go yard in his home ballpark. Let's go. Tampa Bay just gave up 20 runs to Toronto. I'm a little upset at the moment. I don't look good. And now it's Yusei Kikuchi, who I kind of want to target, but I'm kind of not going to, mainly because it's Shane McClanahan, and it's already priced in on this number. We're looking at everything you could try to find from that side of it, and, well, it's not there. Minus 177, best available number to back Tampa Bay on the money line at Bet Rivers, which I don't have access to, so that sucks. Caesars is actually at minus 179, so that's not a far cry away from it. But yet, I would try to go to the run line, if only because of this. When Yusei Kikuchi runs into trouble, it's because he's not getting swings and misses, and because he's walking everybody. However, a 6.2% walk rate this season is a drastic improvement from 12.8% he had last year. He has less than half the walks that he was averaging last year to this point of the season. That is a wild improvement, and I don't know if I believe in it completely yet, but we have to at least give him the benefit of the doubt. And he has a 5.06 expected ERA. Tampa Bay, we know by now, they smash lefties, they smash righties, but lefties especially, with their 162 WRC plus, is just dumb. 943 OPS, 272 ISO, and that's in 330 batting plate attempts. I mean, my God. My dear God. You also know they face the fewest amount of lefties either way. Doesn't matter. They're really good against them. But I can't bet them at this number. I thought about the run line here mainly because you're looking at least at moving that line inside of plus money in the domination type aspect. But it's only even money at the moment. It opened at plus 105. It's now down to plus 100, only at bet 365. So friends, this unfortunately is a pass. I would like to bet Tampa. Just don't think the value is there. It's been sucked out of the air like a bad joke, or me betting on Tampa Bay today. 20-1. Thanks for coming. Drive home safely. We're heading here next to a pretty interesting spot in Baltimore facing the Yankees, part 2, the sequel. They were up to a 4-0 beginning against Garrett Cole. They're only up 5-4, bottom of the 7th right now. I'm going to be paying close attention to that one, mainly because it was yet another great spot to get big plus money on this Baltimore lineup that, just saying, they have a better record than the Yankees for a reason, and it is not the starting pitching. Baltimore, 31-16, 16-8 away from home, and in a great hitter's ballpark. That, my friends, is the recipe for an AL East upset. Now, you have Tampa Bay in the same division. Thank God for the expanded wild card situation, or we'd be really running into problems. But as it stands right now, I like targeting Nestor Cortez. And can't believe it coming off of last year because he was really, really good. But a 40.3% hard hit percentage, and all of that being in the fly ball department, extreme fly ball pitcher this season, I have to be trying to take some of these righty bats against him. Ryan Mountcastle, Austin Hayes probably going to be leading off here in this spot. They always put Cedric Mullins to the bottom of this lineup, sitting at 9, basically, when it's left on left for it. You have Adley Rutschman, who's just been a godsend, helping. He's been elevating this entire starting pitching staff, and I'd say their ace so far this season, Tyler Wells. 223 expected batting average, 5.1% walk rate, 307 xWOBA. Oh, you're damn right. We are putting Baltimore money line on this card. I can't believe how many times in a row they've been on the card. I hope they can pull it off for us here on Monday because they were on the card. Can they make it 5 days in a row? We're going to find out. Baltimore money line. We've been riding with it, and we've been riding with it good. Hello, friends. It's BetMGM, the sponsor of our lovely little program. All you do, if you want to jump into one of the best sports books with some of the best odds, especially in the golf streets, I'm telling you, check out Odd Shopper Golf. We have a golf channel specifically for you to check out everything every single week. Hey, we made some money on the PGA Championship, even though I didn't have Brooks Koepka on the card. That, my friends, is the discipline. That's what we preach over at Odd Shopper Golf, is being able to find the best lines for tournament matchups, for everything else. And BetMGM, they have had the best lines, bar none, compared to any other book in the golf street. So, if you plan on betting golf, if you plan on betting over total bases or home run props, a lot of the best lines have been at BetMGM. All you do is go to that video description box below, click on the link, takes you 2 minutes to sign up, and you get yourself up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. So if you bet $20, you're going to get $20 back in bonus bets. If you bet $100, you're going to get $100 back in bonus bets, all the way up to $1,000. But that's not it, friends. You're also going to get 2 free months of premium Discord access to myself, to Eitan Shander, to Ben Raza, to Isaiah Swirls. Everybody that we have here at OddsShopper that you know and love from your videos is in that premium Discord. So go to that video description box below, sign up for BetMGM, and do what we preach, odd shopping. We are here to find the best line every single day, whether that's at Caesars or at FanDuel or at DraftKings, doesn't matter. But a lot of those of late have been at BetMGM. So sign up there, get those 2 free months of Discord access, and start winning some cash along with your guy. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. Halfway through, let's get back to the picks. God, I hate this game. Ryan Weathers on the mound. The Weatherman taking on Trevor Williams. Padres, Nationals. Do you feel good about this one? I sure don't. Ryan Weathers, at least really good in terms of hard hit percentage, 27.9%. But outside of that, there is nothing that's all that enthusiastic about his pitch mix. I was trying to find something that I liked about him. He's got a cool name. Ryan Weathers. Oh, Mr. Withers. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to impersonate. All I know is Trevor Williams is on the other side, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, turned Washington National. Always been terrible, though. A 4.26 ERA, 1.26 whip. Those are actual improvements over what you might expect from Trevor Williams, like the 5.3% walk rate, like that he's not giving free passes to guys, but that has to be the case when you have a 5.09 expected ERA. It's way up from last year's 3.67. Actually, last season across the board, a pretty decent year in 2022. I should give him his flowers. Brandon Flowers. Or anybody else like the Killers? I don't know. Mr. Brightside? All the things that I've done? Spaceman? It's a good track. I'm the man gone round. Brandon Flowers. He's fire. Killers, you need to check them out. One of my favorite bands. But looking at the 31-year-old Trevor Williams, there's nothing that's that impressive about him. And it's got me looking at this over, mainly because Ryan Weathers, I don't trust. And Trevor Williams, I don't trust. And Juan Soto, facing his former team, decided to go yah-yah on Monday. Maybe he just does the same thing here against a bad righty. I don't know. Can we get Carpenter involved? Can you get Meneses involved on the Washington side? It's just... I'm leaning over 9.5. I don't like it, though. I really don't. But it is plus 100. It's even money to try to take an over here. Just not grading out all that well. So we're probably going to have to pass on this game. Maybe some home run props, but that is about it. Going to Atlanta. This is great stuff. Everybody liked all my hip-hop references, all the things. Let me do a little get back. You don't know me like that. That's what Freddie Freeman's been doing here. He's back and he's angry with the Atlanta front office that lied. His agent lied to him. Did you guys read that story? You have to Google it if you have not. Check out the Freddie Freeman story from last year. He's batting .328 in a Dodger uniform this season with 9 homers and .968 OPS, one of the best hitters in baseball. His agent flat out was like, I want you at a bigger market, and I don't live in California, so I don't have to pay the taxes on it. And it is just a wild ride of a story. But either way, we have Tony Gonsolin going up against Bryce Elder. This is a pretty clear-cut spot. And I know that Tony Gonsolin has been good with a 1.13 ERA, 0.92 whip. I have been backing him a lot of late. But the walks have been a little up, and his BABIP is pretty low compared to where it should be as a baseline number. I don't think he can keep this kind of run good going, and there's enough lefties in this Atlanta lineup. Not just Ozzie Albies on the, the left on, or switch hitter kind of a situation. Orlando Arcia that, from all intents and purposes, been the biggest overachiever you could ever imagine. But Michael Harris from the left side, Ozzie Albies, switch hitter, Sam Hilliard, Matt Olson, 492 expected slugging, pretty wild stuff. Feel pretty good about the Atlanta Braves finding ways to create issues for a guy with just a 20% K rate and a 9.5% walk rate in Tony Gonsolin. That's not what you'd expect. And despite the 1.13 ERA, and that's what he does, he just finds ways to succeed. He does have a 3.46 ERA, which is a little bit higher, facing a very, very tough Braves lineup. So yeah, something's got to give there. And I think Bryce Elder is probably pretty targetable, as is You might expect that already with his 49.3% hard hit percentage, 272 expected batting average. Yeah, best of luck to you, young man. You're going to be facing the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are a pretty good lineup top to bottom. Well, not the bottom's pretty garbage. 1 through 7. There you go. That's the right way of putting it. So we are looking at the over of 9 here. I think Gonsolin is bound to be giving up a couple more than we're looking at here. And part of it, minus 115 on that. Why is it so big? Why is it so big? Well, I think it's a pretty easy spot to see some runs being put up in it's starting to get warmer. Let's go, Atlanta. Let's start putting the heat on. The heat is on. I'm not going to sing. Sorry. 5 games to go. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as we talk home runs, baby. I'm here for it. This one is a fun one. We got Matthew Boyd going up against Zach Greinke, and I hate both of them. Matthew Boyd, though, 32.5% hard hit percentage. I don't believe it. Zach Greinke, 292 expected batting average. I believe it. It's interesting what we're finding here for both of these guys. Matthew Boyd, though, a lefty, is going to be facing Sal Perez. Have you watched him hit lately? 553 expected slugging, smashing baseballs, lofts it up nicely, 17.2 degree average launch angle. Give me Sal Perez to go yard on Matthew Boyd. And hey, Zach Greinke, I just don't know who I would want to target with Detroit because everybody's terrible in that lineup. Maybe Riley Green? Maybe? Whatever. I'm just looking at Sal Perez to hit a ball very long and very far, and then we can move along with our merry lives. Well, this is a weird spot. This is awkward because, well, Kadai Senga had his start moved to Wednesday. You had Tyler McGill and Bobby McGill starting there for the New York Mets on Tuesday. So we're just going to do the same thing. I don't really know what to tell you. They're facing Marcus Stroman here in the Chicago Cubs. And well, Christopher Morel keeps smashing baseballs with a 726 expected slugging, but get by him, get by Patrick Wisdom, get by Seiya Suzuki, and life should be okay for you. Dansby Swanson, too, 372 ex-WOBA. He's a pretty good pickup, like this Cubs lineup. Cody Bellinger also, my God. What is happening? Everybody talked about him, even though he's not going to be playing baseball tomorrow, so you don't have to think about it too much. Why am I whispering? I'm not sure. I just know Cody Bellinger's on the IL. Some knee issue. Whatever. We're going to keep it going. Kadai Senga, up to 8Ks. Same thing that I talked about the other day, knuckleheads. Yes, I was quoting Around the Horn. Don't mind me. It was good stuff. Not Around the Horn. It's Will Bond, the show after. Pardon the interruption. Found it. PTI special here. Kadai Senga, 8Ks. Let's party. Miami and Colorado coming up next. We're going to Coors Field. So, of course, you're looking at a total that is bigger than most. Bigger than most. God, I love the Tiger Woods calls. I miss Tiger. Did anybody else miss Tiger at the PGA Championship? I sure did. Sandy Alcantara, though, on the mound. I think he misses pitching well. Going up against Carl Kaufman here. And Sandy. Oh, Sandy. That's a Grease reference. 256 expected batting average. Zoink Scoob. Just a 22.6% K rate. He won a Cy Young last year with just a 23.4% K rate in the year of our Lord 2022. That is wild stuff. It speaks to the 2.28 ERA, the 5.6% walk rate, and coming into the bigs, the walk rate was always a major thing, and it's up to 7.1%, which is pretty nominal, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm really worried about the fact that when the ball comes off the bat for opponents, it's coming off hot. A 115.1 degree max exit velocity. We're talking about one of the best pitchers in baseball last year, who's running into hard contact when it's given up. He has a 40% hard hit percentage, which is the highest rate he's had since 2017. I don't know what to make of all of this, but all I know is that it's a primary only fastball pitcher who's going to be giving up bombs in Colorado if some of these lefties get a hold of it. And even, obviously, Chris Bryant, if he can hit it, he's very good too. But looking at some of these batters on the Colorado side, I think they're set up for success. How about the Miami Marlins facing this Carl Kaufman fellow, who I don't think is a real person? 664 expected slugging. He's 25. I was curious about what we were going to see from him, and it's just one outing, but still, I don't like his sinker. Everything I looked at in terms of the velocity is not good. He doesn't throw it over 91 miles per hour. Sorry, unless you have a changeup that is dipping off the face of the earth, you're going to get destroyed at the big league level throwing at 91. So, yeah, we like the over. We like the over a lot. In fact, get ready, friends. 3 consecutive locks to finish off the night, all in the same column. I don't want to ruin that. I shouldn't even throw that out there. But over 10.5. Get your popcorn ready, friends. Over 10.5. Absolute stone cold lock. Get ready for the next one. As DJ Khaled would say, another one. Another one. Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up. I love that toothpaste commercial or the Geico commercial, whatever the hell it was. I know he's brushing his teeth. It's whatever. We got James Paxton on the mound. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm excited to face him. Going up against Tyler Anderson, who boy, oh boy, I'm excited to face him too. So we might be looking at an part. You're right. Monday, we locked it. That game has not started yet here. It starts in about 10 minutes as of recording this. So we're going to find out. But here's the thing. What happens on Tuesday night, unless there's an injury, is not going to affect my analysis for Wednesday. You're looking at decent enough temperatures out there in Anaheim. And, well, I feel really good about facing both of these pitchers. James Paxton. There's been a lot of people in the fantasy community, in the year-long community, rumblings that, oh, he's got a 31.8% K rate, and he's starting to ramp it up, and he wasn't trying in AAA, yada, yada, yada. A lot of big talk for a guy with a 4.60 expected ERA, just because he's gotten lucky and had a 2.46 ERA. And here's the thing. Past results are not indicative of future results. They're not the same thing. You can't look at them other than what did they do in the velocity department? What did they do to induce soft, weak contact? Well, he didn't do a damn thing. Yes, is he throwing at 96? Is that faster than I would expect for a guy who throws at 60% of the time, fastball only? Yes, that is much faster than I thought he would have coming out of AAA. But I'm looking at this K rate. It is not sustainable. Last season, he pitched all of 24 pitches, and then he was gone. This year, 31.8% K rate. Do I think that went up from his 2018 season where he was lights out 32.2% with a massive sample size? No. No, I do not. I expect that to come down, and I expect these righties to punish him from the Angels side. Yes, absolute smash fest here for the Angels. If you look at them against left-handed power, they've gone down a little bit. 109 WRC plus. Taylor Ward has been out of this lineup repeatedly because, well, I think they might be looking to move on from him. I don't know who wants him, but they might be looking to move on from him. Hunter Renfroe, Mike Trout, Mr. Moniak, well, he won't be hitting probably leadoff left on left, but he is hitting 429, 3 homers, 6 ribbies so far in a very limited sample size since getting called up. Left on left, I doubt that continues. Can we get Joe Adell up from AAA Salt Lake where he has a 347, 448, 939 slash line? Can we get my guy Joe Adell some at-bats? That's a conversation for a different show, sorry. For this one, though, we absolutely want to be targeting Tyler Anderson as well, and we talked about all the lefties that we liked coming into a Monday night. Well, how about some of these righties going into Tuesday night? I think this is a good spot for all the other Boston Red Sox that we left off of our conversation. Justin Turner, Yaren one, going to be a fun one there. Kiki Hernandez, he's been... well, Kiki does not love me. Are you not writing? I'll never ever leave, but it is what it is. Ref Snyder probably going to be leading off there. He's been decent against lefties. Friends, 9 is way too low. Way, way, way too low. I have this around 10.4 runs. Give me a lock on Boston, Los Angeles. Let's go to the last one. Another lock incoming. What an easy play this is, too. JP Sears facing Logan Gilbert. And, well, Gilbert Grape has been okay. 30.6% K rate, 5% walk rate. He's been elite, elite, elite. Oakland. I do like the top of the lineup, and a lot of you have been coming at me. Eric, oh my God, how could you lock them on Monday? How could you lock Seattle? Well, they whooped that butt. 11-2, good stuff. But I don't expect that to really be the reason that I want to be going to this, mainly because Seattle in this ballpark, it's a pretty interesting thing where, well, it's a great pitcher's ballpark is what I'm getting at. But yet JP Sears, I don't believe what's going on here. 25.1% K rate, 5% walk rate for him as well. But it's a southpaw facing a Seattle lineup that is eventually going to start murdering. And yes, I do mean murdering some of these lefty bats. They're just an 89 WRC plus with a 26.7% K rate. That's 4th worst in baseball, or 4th best if you're a pitcher. But either way, JP Sears, I don't like this four-seamer sweeper combination. Sweeper getting thrown more. He's got to get that slider changeup going in order to get swings and misses, but, well, they're kind of only thrown to right-handed bats, and you're still going to get Jared Kelenic in this lineup. You're still going to get JP Crawford in this lineup. You're still going to get a number of lefties. Maybe is Colton Wong going to get sent to the other realm? He's got to be out of here soon, right? 177 no homers, whatever. All I know is that this number is at 8, and I've got it at 9.2. That, my friends, is another lock. Again, when you give me over a run of cushion to be able to take an over, generally that falls into the lock department. And, well, fortunately, I really like Seattle in this spot. And I think as good as Gilbert's been, there are some bats that you have to be worried about, that you have to be a little bit concerned about on the Oakland side. So whether it's Ruiz, whether it's Laureano, whether it's Rooker, whether it's Langeliers, feeling pretty good about runs being scored in this one. Over 8. Third straight over on a total lock. Whew, these are not pre-planned things, friends. Put them all together. Put on your best sweater. Let's win together. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Legs, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Tuesday's slate. Check out NBA Lindy's Leans, Legs, and Locks. That ever shows back up again next week. Probably waiting till the NBA Finals. Game 4 going on. Heat Celtics. Best of luck, producer Jacob. Probably not going to be a good time. Probably not going to be a good time at all. Unless Jason Tatum goes over 10.5 rebounds, then I'll get you a drink. How does that sound? Is that okay? Chocolate milk, but either way. Guys, it's been a lot of fun. See you on Wednesday. He didn't like that. It's fine. I really don't care. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Tuesday.